You're watching Good Morning Basin on ABC Big 2.
Now at 6, a fundraiser to honor the lives lost in last week's deadly bus crash, how you can support the victims and their families.
In a violent robbery at a local spa that caused one employee to end up in the hospital.
Then a new subdivision is coming to Odessa, how it's providing affordable housing as home prices soar.
Good morning, Basin. I'm Matt Fons, filling in for Mark Thomas this morning.
And I'm Samantha Smrechniak. Happy Friday. It always happens around this time every Friday where I'm just starving.
Yes.
We have Chef Steven live in the studio.
You can smell what he's concocting up over there.
Yes.
And it's amazing.
Bacon is cooking, and guys, we will definitely give you a little sneak peek of what he is making coming up shortly. But first, we got to check in on that forecast.
We do. Some warm temps ahead. Yeah,
very excited for that. Let's send things over now to our chief meteorologist, Chase Menendez, filling in for Ryan DePhillips this morning.
Well, good morning, everybody. Sure had a chilly start to the day as of 8 a.m., 38 degrees, but we warm up very quickly, landing at 67 by the time we get to 12 noon. Much calmer winds out there today than we had, well, at any point really this week. We're going to see those winds hanging around that 5 to 10 mile per hour mark. So good news there. We'll warm up to a high in the 80s this afternoon. Looking really, really pleasant. Very clear skies out there again for today. Again, calm winds will be the name of the game. We finally get a break from those strong winds. But check this out. After our high temperature hits, we cool down really quickly, even factoring in that wind chill down into the 60s by about 11 p.m. So if you have any evening time plans tonight, make sure a jacket is part of them. It may be a little cool out there. And I'll take a look at what the rest of the weekend brings coming up in a little bit. First, back to you.
All right, this morning we are taking a live look at I-20 and Jbs Parkway this morning. Traffic moving along very nicely at 6:02 on this Friday. Not much traffic there to report.
Developing now on ABC Big 2 News.
Developing now at 6, police are looking for a man that's accused of violently attacking an employee at a local spa. They say the man also made off with a lot of cash. That worker was later rushed to the hospital, and police have identified the man as Isaiah Jackson.
The attack happened inside the Rose Garden Spa in Odessa. ABC Big 2's Rob Duke spoke to police about the robbery.
We had just left for, maybe 10 minutes, and then it happened. So it's very scary.
It was a scary scene for Gina Lujan, who had just returned to her business a few doors down from the Rose Garden Spa. She said she saw the aftermath of a violent robbery when police were on scene. Gina is a real estate agent with Meraki Home Realty on East 7th Street.
Yeah, it's very scary, scary for myself, scary for my agents. Hopefully they catch that guy and get him off the streets for sure.
Odessa police say around 1 o'clock in the afternoon on Monday, 33-year-old Isaac Jackson of Humble, Texas, walked into the Rose Garden Spa and started beating an elderly woman with his fist and then with a handgun. Police say Jackson dragged that woman throughout the business, seriously hurting her before stealing cash and taking off. The suspect was last seen wearing BDU-style pants, an orange hoodie with a black long-sleeve shirt underneath. Police say Jackson left the spa in a white four-door newer model Dodge Ram 4x4 with an auxiliary tank in the bed of the truck. For Lujan, safety is on the forefront of her mind, as her business will soon open its doors for the first time. She already has security cameras set up.
But when this happened, I went ahead and I took an extra step.
She's now added a Vivint security system and soon a doorbell camera.
Because we never know if it's going to happen. There's people out there that don't have good intentions, and we have to be ready if they do come at us.
That was our Rob Duke reporting. The employee was taken to MCH and has been released from the hospital.
Anyone with information on Jackson is asked to give Odessa Crime Stoppers or OPD a call.
Well, an unusual break-in led Odessa police to catch a thief. Police say Maria Rodriguez went into a house to steal jewelry, but then just fell asleep. She was found on the kitchen floor by the homeowner. Right now, she's being held on a $24,000 bond.
A Midland man is dead after a crash in Glasscock County. DPS says 31-year-old Aaron Weber died after a truck crashed head-on into his car. It happened Monday about 12 miles west of Garden City on SH 137. Troopers say Weber died on scene. The driver of the truck is recovering at Midland Memorial Hospital.
Well, we continue to follow last week's deadly bus crash in Andrews County. Today, Energy Staffing Services in Hobbs is hosting a cookout in honor of the student athletes that died. A donation will get you a hot dog or a hamburger, and all the money raised will help the families of those who were killed. The money will also go towards the medical bills of the students who are still in the hospital.
We know that something this devastating costs a lot of money, takes a lot of time out of people's jobs. The parents are having to travel back and forth. They're going to need help. And this is just our way of giving back to the community. The community's been really good to us and our business.
The event is today at 10 a.m. at ESS in Hobbs. And you could read more about how you can help families affected by the bus crash on yourbasin.com.
A new subdivision is coming to South Odessa, catering to those looking for more affordable options in today's high housing market. Construction on this new affordable housing is set to begin with 12 new homes. The Odessa Housing Finance Corporation says with the housing market across West Texas continuing to soar, it's crucial to offer homebuyers some assistance in affording homes.
It's super important for us to be able to offer workforce and affordable housing in this area, and to be able to offer somebody $20,000 of down payment and closing cost assistance, and all they have to do is live there for 5 years and they don't have to pay it back.
Miller also says this is only the beginning, and the growth in Odessa will continue through the partnerships that have been created.
In the past year, the State Board of Educators certification has suspended more than 300 teaching certificates statewide. This means those educators can't teach in Texas for at least a year. A school board in Pflugerville has asked 8 of its teachers to report to the TEA for contract abandonment. Some of the teachers say they're quitting because they fear for their safety.
That's terrifying. Because after learning that, how can you go back to work and just teach like it's a normal day? In your mind, you're going to think, does that kid have a gun? Does that kid have a weapon? Is that kid going to do something crazy right now? You don't know.
The State Board has changed some of its rules on what qualifies as a good reason for a teacher to quit during their contract. They say factors like an unexpected drop in pay and significant harm to the teacher could be a reason to let the educator go before the end of the school year.
The city of Austin believes a phone app could save your life. The app, called What 3 Words, came from the United Kingdom to help first responders better respond to emergencies. It divides the globe into 10-foot by 10-foot squares and assigns each square a set of 3 words that can then be relayed to those answering emergency calls.
There are 57 trillion 10-foot squares around the world, and there's a unique combination of 3 words for each one. You feel like there might not be enough, but there are.
I think that is what is driving all this innovation in location-based services, and it's something that it's going to evolve.
The app could help in disaster situations like the recent tornado that hit parts of Texas.
And drug overdose deaths are on the rise across the state. We've seen several overdoses here in the Basin, and much of that increase is blamed on illegal fentanyl. The death toll has some public health leaders looking to different solutions like harm prevention kits. Those consist of things like fentanyl testing strips. Those strips are currently illegal in Texas, but some lawmakers want to change that.
It reduces the harm, not only to individuals, but to our communities. And so if we start treating this as if it is a collective issue, it's something that is plaguing all of us, and we all really want real results, then we can look to cities such as New York and see that they've gotten real results.
Those kits are part of President Joe Biden's plan to attack America's addiction epidemic. And you could read more about the rise in fentanyl overdoses here in the Basin and how you can help prevent them on yourbasin.com.
Coming up on Good Morning Basin, gas prices are affecting the average household expenses. We're taking a live look of New York, where people are grappling with the worst inflation in 4 decades.
And coming up after the break, we'll take a look at our winds and how they really play a part in our forecast for the weekend. Things are looking much calmer than they have been the past couple of days, but still very dusty out there thanks to the winds that we saw earlier in the week. We're still at the moderate category for that dust. Thankfully, though, weeds and grass are absent from the allergy report. Check out JohnDeBrayMD.com for more information if you need to. And stay tuned after the break. I've got a look at some dry conditions, some windy conditions, and some warm temperatures all coming up.
And as we head to break, a reminder that if you see news happening, share your videos and photos on social media with us. Make sure you use the hashtag ABC Big 2 News.
And if you haven't done it yet, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. We are ABC Big 2 News.
Abrams, 9 o'clock. Telling it like it is. Now at a new time.
Here's where I'm coming from. Here's what I'm thinking.
Dan Abrams live at his new time, 9/8 Central. Weeknights on News Nation. News for all America.
One network is redefining cable news. That network is News Nation.
In our first year, we were named both neutral in bias and most reliable. News Nation.
News Nation.
News Nation. News for all America.
Just 3 words tell you everything you need to know. They tell you why we employ more than 2,000 workers at our factory in Virginia Beach. Not everyone can say them, but we can. Made in America. Visit your local dealer for the Made in America BGA 57 battery blower. Real steel. Find yours.
Selling a home is expensive and stressful, so we set out to create a better home selling experience with a network of the most successful real estate agents in America that'll sell your home for as little as a 2% commission.
The icing on the cake with the Ideal Agent was that we saved $12,000 in commissions.
We would definitely use Ideal Agent again. The whole process was so positive for us.
Excellent service.
Getting right to the point, hiring Ideal Agent, I wish we would have done that sooner, and we would have saved 6 months of time and mortgage payments that would have probably never happened if we would have just gone with them first.
They were so stress-free. The whole process was amazing, and I would definitely recommend them.
We certainly recommend Ideal Agent now to all of our family, all of our friends. It's just a great experience.
We are not a discount brokerage. These are top local agents that'll get you the best results.
Weather Authority forecast.
Well, good morning, everybody. We've got a nice warming trend going on here. Temperatures are chilly outside right now, but hey, at least they're a little better than we were this time yesterday. Picking up 9 degrees here in Odessa Midland is a good indicator that we've got a nice warming trend kicking off for today. Low temperatures this morning dropping down to 38 degrees, but highs to look forward to will be landing in the 80s. Really nice change of pace and actually above average for this time of the year. So good news there. It looks like we're going to be warming up and staying warm through the weekend. This is going to be a pretty good weekend to look forward to. Really clear conditions overhead for this morning. As we roll over to about 12 noon, you can see not a whole lot of changes out there. We're still looking really clear overhead, starting to get a little bit of cloud cover, trying to work its way in from mainland Mexico by the time we get to about 5 p.m. this evening. But really not a whole lot of changes even as that cloud cover rolls in. Really not seeing a whole lot of evidence of rain chances or anything like that. We are really dry here in West Texas, which means cloud cover is going to be hard to come by, as is rain. But it also means that warm temperatures are going to be in the forecast for at least the next couple of days. As we head into Saturday evening, we'll pick up a little bit of cloud cover, but again, we're just really too dry to support any kind of rain chances. This morning, 38 degrees as of about 8 a.m., but we do pick up nicely, 67 by the time we get to 12 noon. Those winds remain mostly calm today, single digits just about everywhere. May see a gust or two ranging to that 10 to 15 mile per hour mark, but certainly nothing like what we saw earlier in the week. So very calm by contrast. As we head into the evening time today, again, high temperatures do pick up into the 80s, so a nice warm afternoon to look forward to. We've also got a lot of sunshine out there to go along with that, and again, those calm winds. But there is one caveat to this really nice forecast, and that is the dry conditions. Yesterday, we saw a red flag warning. Today, we're going to be dropping down to about 5% humidity as early as 12 noon here in Odessa Midland. But I don't expect a red flag warning again for today, even though our conditions are going to remain super dry even heading into the evening hours, and the main reason for that is those winds. They're just going to be a little too calm to allow for those criteria for red flag warnings to be met, but it sure is going to stay dry through the weekend. So if you have any grilling plans or any plans involving an outdoor spark or flame or anything like that, or you're going to be traveling with a trailer, make sure to use caution, especially with those chains dragging on the road that can lead to sparks, which can lead to brush fires, especially as dry as it has been. Now tonight it is going to be on the chilly side. Temperatures will be backing off into the 50s as early as about 10 p.m. or 11 p.m. this evening. So it is going to get to be pretty cool tonight. Make sure to plan for that if you have any outdoor plans or you're going to be heading out this evening. Make sure to bring a jacket with you just to be on the safe side. 85 degrees will be our high temperature today. We'll pick up to 88 tomorrow and 89 on Sunday. So again, a really nice warm weekend to look forward to. We'll actually start off the week a little warmer still at 90 degrees before cooling down Tuesday with a 30% chance for some thunderstorms on Tuesday afternoon.
Oh, we're taking a live look at Loop 250 and Midland Drive. Still pretty early out there. Traffic is flowing pretty steadily. Not too busy. Not anything to be worried about. We'll keep you updated as the morning progresses.
Well, rising gas prices could cost American households $2,000 more this year. Jane King is at the NASDAQ with that story and more.
Good morning. American consumers are grappling with the worst inflation in decades, and more economic pain could be coming. A recent analyst note from Yardeni Research estimated that the recent spike in gas prices could add up to $2,000 in annual cost to the typical household budget, and that's on top of another $1,000 in additional costs for food. Well, some Disney employees urging the company to stay politically neutral. Other employees have blasted the company's muted initial response to a Florida bill that would ban teaching on matters of sexual orientation and gender identity until after the 3rd grade. Stocks jumped as oil prices slipped and jobs data boosted confidence in the economy. Weekly jobless claims fell to their lowest level in 52 years. And cruise vacations still a favorite choice among Americans. AAA says 41% say they are considering a cruise in the future. From the NASDAQ market site, I'm Jane King. That's your money.
And for more of today's top business headlines, you can head to yourbasin.com. All right, guys, well, it is Foodie Friday, and Chef Steven is back live in studio with an incredible and, let's just say, very comforting recipe
the
today.
moment we've been waiting for all the time we've been here to try and see the final product.
Yes, and this gnocchi today.
Yes, so in the previous segment that we were doing, we were cooking off our bacon, our vegetables, a little bit of some gnocchi. We made a little sauce out of some heavy whipping cream and some Parmesan cheese. It's amazing how like the simplest of ingredients make such a great sauce, make a great dish, everything. It just tastes great. So where we're at right now, we've got that nice thickness. Of course, your pasta's really going to soak up a lot of that sauce, that cream, and it's just going to make for a really stick-to-your-rib type of meal. And when you add that bacon, those vegetables, maybe a little bit of some chicken, it just makes for a whole, delicious meal. It takes it to a whole nother level. Now, if you want to add shrimp, you want to do some salmon with that, by all means, do that. But of course, you got to throw in a little bit of green to that, so that way we have a beautiful looking gnocchi.
He's always about the presentation, that is for sure.
Yeah. Now, I was going to ask you, gnocchi, is it known to kind of soak up and take in all the flavors that you're cooking it in?
Most definitely. So if you get a good sear on it, it'll definitely soak up some of that sauce, but you'll also get a little bit of that crunch on the outside, that little bit of chewiness in the center, and then of course, with that sauce. So we've been talking about it. I think we should be about it and try it, no?
Best time of the morning. We were all saying during the break, this is like our favorite type of food, just pasta with a good cream sauce and bacon.
Nothing like a pasta and cream sauce at what, 6:30 in the morning, close to 6:30?
There we go. So, how is it? Excellent. Yeah.
I mean,
Amazing.
No shocker there.
And the little chives on top adds that extra little.
You're a big chive
I am a big. I saw the chives being sprinkled on, and I was like, you know what? That's going to take the dish right there.
We have gnocchi and bacon on the table, and he's all about the chives this morning.
Chives are an ingredient that can add the finishing touch to anything.
Yes, fresh herbs on anything take it to a whole nother level. It ties it all together, and you all were seeing that we were able to do this within about 15 minutes, and that's what makes it even better. You get home from work, you got to make dinner, you got to watch kids. make sure you check out some of my YouTube videos for easy meals with a step-by-step process.
And a lot of times you can make the gnocchi homemade. That's the process. You can also just go to the store, pick it up off the shelf, and then kind of just do like what you said here, do it in 15 minutes, quick and easy meal.
So for those of you who are watching who don't know what gnocchi is, now you know.
Now you know, it can be as simple or as complicated as you would like it to be, and it's always going to be delicious, that is for sure. All right, well, coming up, it is Forever Home Friday. Tara Acox will introduce us to our Pet of the Week.
In this morning's GMA First Look, actor and comedian Dave Coulier's secret struggle.
Cut it out.
This is how so many of us think of Coulier, as the ever-optimistic Uncle Joey on both Full House and Fuller House.
A little something I like to call Ode to a Fountain.
A far cry from this photo he posted on Thursday, showing the lowest moment in his struggle with alcoholism.
Struggle with even a person who is somebody I grew up with, somebody that I identify as, happy-go-lucky all the time, can struggle with this too. And I think having people speak out about that makes a big difference because it makes you reevaluate your own experience.
And coming up at 7 a.m., we'll go one-on-one with Dave Coulier, hearing about his journey to sobriety in his own words. With your GMA First Look, I'm Kaylee Hartung, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Your mission, stand up to moderate to severe rheumatoid arthritis and take it on with Rinvoq. Rinvoq, a once-daily pill, can dramatically improve symptoms. Rinvoq helps tame pain, stiffness, swelling, and for some, Rinvoq can even significantly reduce RA fatigue. That's Rinvoq relief. With RA, your overactive immune system attacks your joints. Rinvoq regulates it to help stop the attack.
Rinvoq can lower your ability to fight infections, including TB, serious infections and blood clots, some fatal, cancers, including lymphoma and skin cancer, death, heart attack, stroke, and tears in the stomach or intestines occurred. People 50 and older with at least one heart disease risk factor have higher risks. Don't take if allergic to Rinvoq, as serious reactions can occur. Tell your doctor if you are or may become pregnant.
Talk to your rheumatologist about Rinvoq relief. Rinvoq, make it your mission. Learn how AbbVie could help you save on Rinvoq.
Time now for Forever Home Friday with Tara Acox from the Midland Humane Coalition. Good morning, Tara.
Good morning.
So, I know we have a special pet of the week. Who is it this week?
So this week it's Annie. You can see her there, and she is a pit bull shepherd mix. She's about 2 years old. She's kind of on the small side for a pit. She's about 35 pounds. And she was adopted in San Angelo, and her owner, unfortunately, didn't have enough time because he worked so many hours to spend with her. But he did do the right thing. He reached out to her rescue that he got her from to find out if they could take her back. They were unable to, so he just kept going down that phone list to all the no-kill shelters he could think of until he found us.
What a cutie. And how old is she?
She's about 2 years old.
Okay.
She's full of energy.
Okay, and so what kind of family, a family who's in the market for a new pet, how would she do with them?
Well, we think that she likes kids. She definitely likes other dogs. So any family that has kids maybe 12 and up, because she is kind of big, we don't want her to knock anybody down or anything. But she does seem to have a lot of energy, so she'd probably do really well with some older kids.
Okay, and if that family has another pet in the household already, is she, accommodating to that? Is she one to get along with everyone?
Absolutely. So far, she hasn't shown any type of aggression towards dogs, but you always want to be cautious whenever you introduce, especially your family pet with a new pet. So make sure you do that in a neutral environment, and we can accommodate that. Actually, we have a meet and greet area where the pets can meet for the first time just to make sure that they get along.
Awesome. And now I know you guys have an event coming up. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, it is almost time for our annual hot dog run. That's going to happen on May 7th at the Busch Tennis Center. We do this every year. This helps us raise money for our operating costs, and we have two generous sponsors that are always there for us, Sandstone Ridge Apartments and the Midland Athletic Company. So it's going to be a whole weekend of fun, and you can find out more about it at midlandhumane.org.
All right, awesome. Well, thank you so much for filling us in, and let's hope she gets adopted.
Thanks.
All right, well, next at 6:30, one man is being accused of killing 2 girls. What he says, why he says he's innocent.
And coming up after the break, we'll take a look at our winds and how they really play a part in our forecast for the weekend. Things are looking much calmer than they have been the past couple of days, but still very dusty out there thanks to the winds that we saw earlier in the week. We're still at the moderate category for that dust. Thankfully, though, weeds and grass are absent from the allergy report. Check out JohnDebraymD.com for more information if you need to. And stay tuned after the break. I've got to look at some dry conditions, some windy conditions, and some warm temperatures all coming up.
Tech Bites, brought to you by Sparklight, a stronger connection.
In today's Tech Bites, Apple potentially planning subscriptions for most of its products. That means users would rent iPhones and iPads rather than pay sky-high prices every time a new model comes out. No word yet on what that might cost or when it would take effect. And Google is adding the ability to book doctor's appointments right from its search feature. Users will see the date of the earliest appointment, the type of visit, and a book button. The company is working with Minute Clinic and CVS along with other schedulers. Twitter now lets you search for specific messages in your direct messages. Up until now, you could only search for the names of people or group chats. Just type in any keyword in the search bar and click the Messages tab. Twitter also recently unveiled a feature that makes it easier to search an individual user's tweets. Those are your Tech Bites. Have a great day.
Welcome to Allstate. Here, safe driving saves more than just your cargo. Safe driving saves you 40% with DriveWise. The safer you drive, the more you save with Allstate. Click or call for a quote today.
Before discovering Nexium 24-Hour to treat her frequent heartburn, Claire could only imagine enjoying chocolate cake. Now she can have her cake and eat it too. Nexium 24-Hour stops acid before it starts for all-day, all-night protection. Can you imagine 24 hours without heartburn?
What could the father of the bride possibly be doing on his phone? Checking with his marital advisor to see if he's on track to do this again. And again. Did I mention she made the guest list?
Digital tools so impressive, you just can't stop. What would you like the power to do?
When you do interviews like this, you always wonder what it's going to be like looking into the eyes of a killer. But Wendy doesn't look or act like any of the killers I've talked to. Why did you decide to do this network interview?
2020 new tonight on ABC.
Inertial measurement is complete.
Begin go, no-go terminal count. Sys 1.
Go.
Sys 2.
Go.
Hold the launch. We're missing supplies.
Ma'am, there's a vehicle approaching the launch pad.
Right on time.
Order for George?
Thanks, partner. We can't orbit on an empty stomach.
Spring ahead with our top speeds. Get faster internet with Suddenlink, like our high-speed 1 gig internet for just $49.99 a month. With it, you'll get a $200 Visa prepaid card, HBO Max included on us for 1 year, and a free Wi-Fi extender for whole home coverage. Get our fastest speed, plus with optimum flexibility from Suddenlink, you can choose more of what you want with no hidden fees. And the grass gets greener when you combine with Optimum Mobile for even more savings. Spring into action and sign up at Suddenlink.com or call us at 800-972-5757 today.
It's Chevy Truck Month, and it's time to add the perfect accessories to your new Chevy. Make it bolder. Make it work harder. Make it your own. Find new possibilities. Find new roads. Very well qualified buyers can get 0% financing on most Chevy pickup trucks. Plus, now during Truck Month, get a $1,000 accessory allowance toward the eligible purchase of a new Chevy truck with accessories. See your Premium Basin Chevy dealers.
At Windowpro, we've served the great people of West Texas for over 30 years with quality windows, siding, patios, and sunrooms. Call us today for a free, no-hassle estimate.
Live, you're watching Good Morning Basin on ABC Big 2.
Coming up, the White House is sending a dire warning to businesses around the country, why it says they must be prepared for a Russian cyber attack.
Did you cute?
and preventing child abuse across the basin. I'm Tatiana Battle, and I'll have more on how a local organization is tackling this issue.
And now your ABC Big 2 weather right now.
All right, well, first we're going to get a check with weather. Some warm conditions ahead this weekend. I think a lot of people are going to be excited about that.
Yeah, going to be hitting the pool this weekend. Although I don't know, after eating all that gnocchi this morning, we're not off to a good start with those bathing suit pods.
That's all right. It's the first warm weekend. You know what? You got to just get out and enjoy it.
Plenty of time to prepare for summer, right?
Yes.
All right, well, let's send things over now to our chief meteorologist, Chase Menendez, with a closer look at that weekend weather.
Well, good morning, everybody. Sure had a chilly start to the day as of 8 a.m., 38 degrees, but we warm up very quickly, landing at 67 by the time we get to 12 noon. Much calmer winds out there today than we had, well, at any point really this week. We're going to see those winds hanging around that 5 to 10 mile per hour mark. So good news there. We'll warm up to a high in the 80s this afternoon. Looking really, really pleasant. Very clear skies out there again for today. Again, calm winds will be the name of the game. We finally get a break from those strong winds. But check this out. After our high temperature hits, we cool down really quickly, even factoring in that wind chill down into the 60s by about 11 p.m. So if you have any evening time plans tonight, make sure a jacket is part of them. It may be a little cool out there. And I'll take a look at what the rest of the weekend brings coming up in a little bit. First, back to you.
All righty, and as you head out the door this morning, here is a live look at Interstate 20 and Jbs Parkway. Right now, traffic picking up slightly this morning, but still pretty empty roadways for the most part there. Traffic moving along very nicely for that morning commute. Now we continue to see gas prices fluctuate, but there is concern that the summer driving season will send the cost of a gallon even higher. AAA says more people are hitting the road, and it could cause prices to spike above $5 and $6 a gallon. Right now, the national average for a gallon of gas is sitting at $4.23.
Developing now on ABC Big 2 News.
Developing now at 6:30, Ukrainian forces continue to fight back as President Biden prepares to head to Poland. ABC's Alex Perche has the latest.
President Biden wrapping up in Brussels today, announcing a plan to help Europe become less reliant on Russian oil by sending them more U.S. natural gas.
Together with President Biden, we will present a new chapter in our energy partnership.
The president also announcing another $1 billion in humanitarian aid for Ukraine and that the U.S. would welcome up to 100,000 refugees. And he had this warning to Vladimir Putin if Russia uses chemical weapons against Ukraine.
We would respond if he uses it. The nature of the response would depend on the nature of the use.
Pressed by ABC what that would mean.
Would that trigger a military response from NATO?
It would trigger a response in kind. Whether or not you're asking whether NATO would cross, we'd make that decision at the time.
The White House now looking to send chemical detection systems to Ukraine. And as Biden lands in Poland this morning, NATO forces are conducting military exercises along the Polish border with Belarus. In Ukraine, the country's Navy claiming victory, saying it destroyed a Russian warship.
He's losing on the ground. His economy is headed for tatters. President Putin has a big problem on his hand, and he can, at that point, when he realizes that, he can turn to negotiations. He's not there yet.
But Russia claims it's making progress, moving closer to capturing the city of Mariupol. The head of Putin's political party saying no one should have any doubts Russia is here forever. Well, and President Biden will round out his Friday meeting with members of the 82nd Airborne Division in Poland. Alex Perche, ABC News, Washington.
And Ukraine's president is making a plea to NATO for more military help. President Zelensky says just 1% of NATO's military assets would make a big difference. The Ukrainian Foreign Ministry is accusing Russia of forcibly relocating more than 400,000 people from Mariupol and other parts of the country. It says Putin is holding these people as hostages, though that hasn't been confirmed. Now, the White House and the United Kingdom are accusing Russia of producing chemical weapons. They're concerned Russia could use white phosphorus, a toxic substance, as another measure against Ukraine. Despite its legal applications, white phosphorus is not strictly banned as a chemical weapon, but NATO leaders are still worried the attack could happen.
There's chances of a mistake. There's a chance of misinterpretation. So Putin misinterprets what NATO is doing. We misinterpret what Putin is doing. And then things get much more dangerous.
The White House has set up a team of experts to plan how the United States could respond if Russia uses weapons of mass destruction. Meanwhile, President Zelensky continues to ask for a no-fly zone over Ukraine. The NATO leaders say that a no-fly zone could escalate the war into a nuclear confrontation.
While the war in Ukraine continues, a growing number of Americans say the U.S. isn't doing enough to help Ukraine. 48% of people say that the no-fly zone would lead to war between NATO countries and Russia, but 52% of people say they still support it. 59% of people said that the consequences the U.S. has put on Russia is too weak. They also were in support of sending more aid to help Ukraine. A surprising 41% of Americans say if sanctions don't work, they'd support deploying American soldiers to defend Ukraine. However, 58% oppose that. The News Nation poll also said 90% of Americans were concerned about the use of chemical weapons in future wars.
And many U.S. leaders believe Russian cyber attacks are imminent. This week, the White House warned private companies they need to strengthen their cyber defenses. Some tech companies say government regulatory agencies need to put rules in place to ensure companies are meeting cybersecurity standards and are able to get networks back up if they're hacked.
As we see Putin more and more isolated and being less successful on the battlefield, this possibility is real.
To bring the firewalls up, not just in the government, but also in the private sector.
Lawmakers say there may not be enough time for substantial improvements before Russia's next cyber attacks. Now, a Ukrainian marathon runner who left the country at the start of Russia's invasion says she'll be running for peace in Jerusalem's annual marathon today. 31-year-old Valentina Vretska says she was forced to leave her country with her 11-year-old daughter the day the war started. She says despite the turmoil and stress that she's been going through, she still wants to race.
I run for peace, and I hope everybody who run with me run for peace, because it's peace not only to Ukraine, it's peace to all the world.
We are wishing her the best of luck today. Marathon organizers say another 40 Ukrainian immigrants and refugees are running to raise awareness about the war.
Developing now on ABC Big 2 News.
Also developing this morning, for 5 years, the unsolved murders of 13-year-old Abby Williams and 14-year-old Libby German have hung over Delphi, Indiana. Police are looking to a man named Keegan Klein after he was arrested and charged with sex crimes in 2020. Our Kaylee Basin sat down with him.
It's a story that's haunted the tight-knit community of Delphi, Indiana for years. Two teenage girls, Libby German and Abby Williams, found murdered near a community hiking trail in 2017. The best evidence police have of the girl's suspected killer came from video on Libby's cell phone and this audio recording, with a voice seeming to say, the same phone also holding other leads, including conversations with a social media account under the name Anthony Schatz. But the man behind the account is not the man in these photos. It's this man, Keegan Klein, who was arrested for 30 counts of child solicitation, child exploitation, and possession of child pornography based on what was found on his electronic devices. During his interrogation by authorities, Klein was confronted with the knowledge that detectives knew he was communicating with Libby and or her friends the night before she disappeared. "I literally have no clue how that girl died," Klein said. "Yeah, it's a weird coincidence that I happened to talk to her. Like, I get that." Last December 9th, Klein talked to a writer who visited him in the Miami County Jail. "Do you think your dad could have been accessing that profile?" Klein is asked. "Yeah, I do," he says. "You think he may have been using that profile to talk to girls?" he's asked. "Yeah," says Klein. "That's the only other person that could have, because he lived there. You know what I mean? So you guys had all access to the same electronic items?" he is asked. "Right?" "Yeah."
Both Keegan Klein and his father, Tony, have not been charged in this case. The investigation is still ongoing.
And you can get the latest developing and breaking news sent straight to your phone with the Your Basin app. Download it today to stay updated.
Well, during the final day of Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson's confirmation hearing, senators heard from a panel of witnesses who testified about the judge's record and character. Groups like the American Bar Association sang the praises of Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson. Some Democrats say Jackson's appointment ensures the court will better reflect the country, but some Republican panelists cautioned against her confirmation.
The Senate must now do its due diligence to ensure that the ideology of the anti-incarceration and anti-police movement is never permitted to make its way onto our Supreme Court.
I think that we ought to be protecting the victims, and so I'm going to vote no.
Democrats are ready to hold a committee vote to move forward with Judge Jackson's nomination Monday, but there is talks among Republicans to try and postpone that vote until the following week.
New this morning, a local children's advocacy center is calling on the community to tackle a major issue of child abuse in the Basin.
They're doing so by using programs and seminars to raise awareness. The center hopes to bring more attention to an issue that directly impacts the community.
ABC Big 2's Tatiana Battle joins us live in Odessa. And Tatiana, you spoke to advocates about what's being done to address child abuse in the area.
Yeah, good morning, guys. Local advocates I spoke to say that from 2020 to present day, they've seen an increase in child abuse cases. And just a few weeks ago, the youngest case reported was a child less than a year old. Now, for more than 30 years, the Harmony Home Center has been providing support for children who are physically and sexually abused. Carrie Bronaugh, the executive director, says that a big part of what the center does is educate the community on the dangers of child abuse by going to schools and teaching others the signs to look for, how to report it, and ways to prevent it from happening. Now, the center serves children up to 18 years of age. Bronaugh says that here locally, child abuse cases have gone up in recent weeks, stating that 73% of children who come through her doors made an outcry of sexual abuse.
Nationally, statistics show that 30% of abuse occurs in the home. And 60% of the time, it occurs from a close family friend, a relative.
To educate the public about child abuse and how to prevent it, how to see it, and where to report it, Harmony Home is hosting the Champions for Children Conference today from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the MCM Fundome. Reporting live in Odessa, Tatiana Battle, ABC Big 2 News.
Such an important initiative there. Now, Child Abuse Awareness Month is less than a week away. Next week, leading up to April, the center will host a community conversation at UTPB discussing child abuse and other major issues that impact the community.
You can learn more about Harmony Home and how you can get involved to stop human trafficking right now on yourbasin.com.
Well, we're knee-deep in basketball playoffs, but that's not the only postseason going on. We've got playoffs on the pitch and an exciting match at that. We'll bring you the highlights.
And coming up after the break, we'll take a look at our winds and how they really play a part in our forecast for the weekend. Things are looking much calmer than they have been the past couple of days, but still very dusty out there thanks to the winds that we saw earlier in the week. We're still at the moderate category for that dust. Thankfully, though, weeds and grass are absent from the allergy report. Check out JohnDebraymD.com for more information if you need to. And stay tuned after the break. I've got a look at some dry conditions, some windy conditions, and some warm temperatures all coming up.
ABC Big 2 birthday celebrations, brought to you by Nothing Bundt Cakes.
The NHL on ABC.
Sponsored locally by the Odessa Jackalopes.
You auditioned for Jeopardy on your birthday?
My 21st birthday.
So, our champ can legally play these categories.
Beer today, lawn tomorrow.
On Jeopardy!
I need 2 bacon on bacon quarter-pound double cheeseburgers.
Coming right up.
Can someone grab more bacon?
We're gonna need more of that tangy smoke sauce.
Order up.
Sonic bacon on bacon quarter-pound double cheeseburger.
Welcome to Nothing But Cakes.
What are we celebrating today? From corporate gifts to holiday parties and everything in between. We believe every celebration deserves to be extra special. Come see us in our Midland or Odessa location and let us be your one-stop shop for your next celebration.
Cintron's Used Auto Parts is 24 acres with thousands of used parts for early and late model vehicles. Why buy new when used will do? Cintron's Used Auto Parts has ready-to-use motors, transmissions, and body parts, along with standard 30-day warranties. Save money at Cintron's Used Auto Parts in West Odessa on Business 20 between West Loop 338 and FM 1936. Call Cintron's today at 432-381-2401. See how you can save money and get your vehicle back on the road. 432-381-2401.
That's a pretty tight spot.
Watch this.
Your Buick Park said so. That's so you.
Of course you know where we're going. That's so you.
Kinda got a sixth sense.
And a head-up display.
They're here.
You brought all these players in your Buick?
Yeah,
So you.
it is.
At the heart of every Buick SUV is you. It's March Madness. Pay no interest on Buick SUV models. Visit your Permian Basin Buick dealer.
You think this can't happen to me? I lost a girlfriend. I lost a job because I didn't show up the next day because I was in jail. Everybody's getting ahead, going to school, and you're just kind of stuck in limbo dealing with this.
I need a double stuffed Oreo blast, guys.
You got it.
Gonna need a double stuffed Oreo waffle cone too.
Coming right up. Order up. Sonic double stuffed Oreo waffle cone and blast.
Local Weather Authority forecast.
Well, good morning, everybody. We've got a nice warming trend going on here. Temperatures are chilly outside right now, but hey, at least they're a little better than we were this time yesterday. Picking up 9 degrees here in Odessa Midland is a good indicator that we've got a nice warming trend kicking off for today. Low temperatures this morning dropping down to 38 degrees, but highs to look forward to will be landing in the 80s. Really nice change of pace and actually above average for this time of the year. So good news there. It looks like we're going to be warming up and staying warm through the weekend. This is going to be a pretty good weekend to look forward to. Really clear conditions overhead for this morning. As we roll over to about 12 noon, you can see not a whole lot of changes out there. We're still looking really clear overhead, starting to get a little bit of cloud cover, trying to work its way in from mainland Mexico by the time we get to about 5 p.m. this evening. But really not a whole lot of changes even as that cloud cover rolls in. Really not seeing a whole lot of evidence of rain chances or anything like that. We are really dry here in West Texas, which means cloud cover is going to be hard to come by, as is rain. But it also means that warm temperatures are going to be in the forecast for at least the next couple of days. As we head into Saturday evening, we'll pick up a little bit of cloud cover, but again, we're just really too dry to support any kind of rain chances. This morning, 38 degrees as of about 8 a.m., but we do pick up nicely, 67 by the time we get to 12 noon. Those winds remain mostly calm today, single digits just about everywhere. May see a gust or two ranging to that 10 to 15 mile per hour mark, but certainly nothing like what we saw earlier in the week. So very calm by contrast. As we head into the evening time today, again, high temperatures do pick up into the 80s, so a nice warm afternoon to look forward to. We've also got a lot of sunshine out there to go along with that, and again, those calm winds. But there is one caveat to this really nice forecast, and that is the dry conditions. Yesterday, we saw a red flag warning. Today, we're going to be dropping down to about 5% humidity as early as 12 noon here in Odessa Midland. But I don't expect a red flag warning again for today, even though our conditions are going to remain super dry even heading into the evening hours, and the main reason for that is those winds. They're just going to be a little too calm to allow for those criteria for red flag warnings to be met, but it sure is going to stay dry through the weekend. So if you have any grilling plans or any plans involving an outdoor spark or flame or anything like that, or you're going to be traveling with a trailer, make sure to use caution, especially with those chains dragging on the road that can lead to sparks, which can lead to brush fires, especially as dry as it has been. Now tonight it is going to be on the chilly side. Temperatures will be backing off into the 50s as early as about 10 p.m. or 11 p.m. this evening. So it is going to get to be pretty cool tonight. Make sure to plan for that if you have any outdoor plans or you're going to be heading out this evening. Make sure to bring a jacket with you just to be on the safe side. 85 degrees will be our high temperature today. We'll pick up to 88 tomorrow and 89 on Sunday. So again, a really nice warm weekend to look forward to. We'll actually start off the week a little warmer still at 90 degrees before cooling down Tuesday with a 30% chance for some thunderstorms on Tuesday afternoon.
All right, well, you're taking a live look at I-20 this morning in Odessa, where traffic is flowing pretty steadily out there. It's still pretty early on in the morning. We will continue to keep you updated on any events that could take place.
All right, well, this morning we have some exciting news. There's a new art exhibition coming to Midland, and this morning to tell us all about it, we have Danny Holiva with the Arts Council of Midland in studio, and this is a really unique concept you guys have come up with.
Well, it's done in other places, but it's an opportunity for anybody to exhibit their work.
And so basically anyone from the community that's an artist or even just does different artworks or recreationally can submit their pieces for this exhibition.
Really, it's for anybody at any level. We do have an age requirement of 16 years or older, so, but yeah, if you're a photographer or a painter or a sculptor, whatever you do, if you'll bring it to the Arts Council by April 1st, your application, we'll exhibit it and have a great opportunity for people to have their work shown.
Yeah, what was the inspiration behind doing this in Midland?
It's just another way of us having a venue for local people, giving them the opportunity, sometimes their first opportunity to show their work somewhere.
And you said about 20 people so far have been featured in this exhibit. It's not open quite yet,
Right.
but can you give us a little sneak peek into what we might be able to see from them?
You know, there's printmaking and photography, painters, watercolor, oil, that kind of thing. And I even saw one piece, this man makes handmade belt buckles. So really unique things, interesting things to see.
Awesome. And really quick for people that want to submit, where can they go to do that?
If you'll go to our website, acmidland.org, there's information there, or you can call our office.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being here this morning, Danny.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
And now, your ABC Big 2 Sports.
Good morning to you. We know it's March Madness time and we're all focused in on college basketball, but it's not the only playoffs going on. Well, that's because we've got postseason soccer over at Ratliff for the ladies. Playoff opener kicking off between El Paso Americas and Permian. Let's go to the 14th minute. Mojo with a corner. It's a beautiful service, but Nixa Munoz just can't get ahead to it. That would have been the opening goal. 3 minutes later, check out this run from Caitlin Olivas. This is pure work and pace. Running with the defender for about 40 yards to get it, and then the composure for the neat finish at the end. Worthy of a golazo. America's up 1-0 in the first half. Permian trying to punch back. Munoz with an excellent through ball, but the keeper comes out just in the nick of time to cut it off. A few minutes later, Maya Gonzalez with the through ball. It's Munoz on the other end of it. She's got a chance, but a key block keeps it out, and the Trailblazer defense holds up again, and even more from Munoz. She's lucky to get on the end of this one, but goes to work, starts on her right, flips to the left, and the shot whistles wide, and she knows, folks, she knows she's close to a goal. Dying minutes of the first half. Gonzalez does well to win it back and just has a goal, and it rings off the post. Closest Mojo got in the first half, but they flip the script and erupt for 4 goals in the second and move on. And the Lady Panthers will rumble on in the playoffs while the Odessa Jackalopes are just trying to get a ticket to the dance. With 8 regular season games remaining, they will have to treat them all like playoff games to earn a trip to the postseason for the first time since 2018, and it is not going to be easy. 4 of their final 8 come against first place New Mexico, and 6 of the 8 remaining are against teams currently in a playoff spot. The Jacks are still fighting to get in those playoff positions as they're 4 points behind Shreveport for the final slot. Lucky for the Jacks, half their games will be played on home ice at the Coliseum, starting with tonight's game against the Ice Wolves.
We're 3-4 points behind the playoff spot right now, so every practice matters, every game matters, every shift matters, and that's exciting. You know, that's why you play this late into the season. That's what you want to do. You know, there's teams that are already out of it, and thankfully we're still in it.
These points are crucial. I mean, the top 6 teams in the division, they're all 2, 4, 6 points away from each other, and like this, we got even Wichita and Shreveport. They have a game in the middle of the week this week, so things can just change just like that. So we got to be ready. We got to take our points when we can get them, and don't get too high and too low.
And Odessa College is back out on the softball diamond today, and it might be the biggest series they have on the regular season schedule. The 5th-ranked Lady Wranglers are packing their bags, complete with a 21-game winning streak, and will head up the road to Big Spring to take on the 18th-ranked Howard College Hawks. Under an interim head coach Ashley Lopez, the Hawks are 25-5 compared to Odessa's record of 22-2. The two will face off for a doubleheader this afternoon in Big Spring and then tomorrow afternoon in Odessa. That does it for me in sports. Do me a favor, have a great day.
Now to your top stories at 6. Fentanyl overdose tests are on the rise across the state. Health leaders are looking to solutions like fentanyl testing strips. Those strips are currently illegal in Texas, but some lawmakers want to change that.
Police are looking for a man that's accused of violently attacking an employee at a local spa and making off with a lot of cash. He's been identified as Isaac Jackson. That worker was later rushed to the hospital. Anyone with information on Jackson is asked to give Odessa Crime Stoppers or OPD a call.
And a new subdivision is coming to South Odessa, catering to those looking for more affordable options in today's high housing market. Construction on this new affordable housing is set to begin with 12 new homes. The Odessa Housing Finance Corporation says with the housing market across West Texas continuing to soar, it is crucial to offer home buyers some assistance in affording homes.
And welcome back. Here's a look at that 7-day forecast with high temperatures at 85 today, 88 tomorrow, and 89 on Sunday. Really great weekend to look forward to. I've got to say, these are some fantastic conditions. The winds are finally leaving us alone today and tomorrow, but they do return again for Sunday. We'll warm up a little more still on Monday with a high reaching 90 and then pick up some thunderstorm chances on Tuesday of next week.
All right, well, I am definitely looking forward to that weekend warm-up, especially Monday. I mean, I don't know, how do you feel about it hitting the 90s?
I mean, I'm used to it from Florida, so I feel like I've been talking about this moment ever since I've been here about it warming up, and it's finally here, so.
You're like, 90s is a mild day for me.
And without the humidity, I mean, it's no walk in the park than what Florida is.
Yeah,
so.
Seriously.
All right, well, we're staying live and local next at 7 on Fox 24 with another hour of Good Morning Basin. Here's a look at what's coming up. Ukraine is fighting back. We'll have more on Ukraine's major victory against one of Russia's warships.
Plus, lawmakers are warning about new rules for gas projects in the U.S. and how it could kill production and exports to Europe. That's all coming up in the 3rd hour of Good Morning Basin, next at 7 on Fox 24. We hope to see you over there, and have a great weekend, everyone.
Weekdays at 5.